It's 5 to 8 and I'm heading out. Awesome couple, awesome bed and breakfast, the home place. I didn't sleep particularly well last night. I don't know, my mind was racing. And I think one of the people that she rents to throughout the summer, they work nights, so they came in and it was a little noisy from midnight till about 1:30. I woke up, had a tough time going back to sleep. But like I say, I'm not so sure I would have slept very much anyway. I don't know, I was just excited to get going today. It's an absolutely spectacular morning. I think I have 32 kilometers to go, but so far every day has been a little more than what I thought I've had to go. I've just turned off the street that has the home place bed and breakfast on it. The breakfast, oh, so good. Way more than I could ever eat. Huge bowl of oatmeal with brown sugar, a dish of fresh fruit, a dish of yogurt, a large apple juice, and really good company. She is from Alberta. He's originally from Australia, and they've had the bed and breakfast for 3 years. And they're awesome. They were awesome. As for the body, well, the Tevas are still soaking wet, and the hikers, the insoles are dry. The shoes themselves are pretty much dry, and I know in this sunshine today they'll dry like in about a half an hour. Puddles seem to have been dried up on the path so far. Shoulders feel good, legs feel good. Feet, the baby toes feel good, they're bandaged up. The left heel is a little tender. It lost its top layer of the blister last night, so it's a little bit raw. And the right one, yeah, it's really tender. We'll see what happens. Sometimes as you walk, it just kind of flattens out and settles in. So let's hope that that's the case. If not, I might try the Tevas again for a little bit later on. Today I'll try 3 sets of 8 kilometers again. Yeah, 17 degrees right now, 20 later, sunshine, risk of thunder showers late in the day. I think it's going to be an absolutely spectacular day to go from Kensington to Hunter River. I forgot to mention the other day that when I left Wellington and I transferred into Summerside, that was 1/3 of my hike complete. 1/3 of the distance, 3 days, 1/3 of the days, and 1/3 of the island because it's divided into 3 sections. So that was the west section. And now I'm in the central section, which you can see is just beautiful rolling farm hills. Greenery, slightly more open spaces, not as rugged and forested as the western side of the island, and today not nearly as many mosquitoes. I wasn't going to bother with doing a vlog. When I've watched other hikers do their vlogs, it just seemed like one, equipment that I didn't really want to carry and be bothered with taking care of and charging and pulling out. And 2, I thought that, getting the right shot making sure you're saying the right things, would have taken time that would have taken away from being in the moment of the hike. But then I watched this one particular woman. Her name is Samantha Plavins. She walksthewalk.com. I watched this woman from Thunder Bay walk 33 days, I think it was, across the El Camino Francis in Spain. And she had the right idea. Her take on it was nothing fancy. She only used her cell phone, and she originally did it to reach out to friends and family, and of course it went farther than that. And she just took time to share her own thoughts and feelings and sort through her crap while she walked, which is exactly what I wanted to do before I started hiking, and what I wanted to do on this trail. She is the kind of person that likes to share her feelings. That's how she sorts through them, and I'm the exact same kind of person. So if you see Samantha Plavin's videos, you'll notice that mine are very similar to hers. And so if Samantha Plavins ever sees my videos, I want to remind her that imitation is the highest form of flattery. And I'm imitating you because I really like what you stand for, and I really like the way you did your vlogs. And that's inspired me to do mine, just like that. On this hike, that through vlogging, you're never really hiking alone. I'm bringing everyone who watches the vlog along with me. So I'm sharing my experiences, chatting with you along the way. It's a great way to solo hike for me. It's a great way to solo hike because I'm solo hiking, but I'm solo hiking with you guys. That's kind of cool. And for the videos, for anyone who is finding it in themselves to productively criticize them, it's not about the videos. It's about me. I'm a little rough, a little rugged, and these videos are rough and rugged. It's about the journey. It's not about putting out a perfect production. Song of the day. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. So you'll be able to see that this central portion is a lot different than the western portion. There is no shade, but there's a beautiful breeze that blows across the farmers' fields. Potatoes as far as the eye can see on both sides, but no shade. I have an umbrella that's reflective. It's silver on the outside, and it was purchased for just such stretches that are straight with zero shade. Do you think I brought it? Nope, it's at home, and I'm walking in the heat of the sun. Oh well, keep on keeping on. My plan was to stop at 8 kilometers, but I just passed the 9-kilometer marker, and there has not been a single bench or picnic table along the way for the first time since I started this. So I'm going to go up to the 10, I guess, but I don't think this bladder is going to last much further than that. I ended up going just over 10 kilometers before I could find a place to sit down. I met a nice local gentleman with 2 big dogs, and he told me just keep going around the bend, but it seemed like forever. And I decided to change my socks. I didn't really want to because my feet were doing, like they're sore, but they were doing okay. The worst thing is when you have to get up again. It takes time for that pain to settle in. But yeah, there they are. I've got 2 little toe condoms on there because that toe seems to be, always has been. I don't know what happens to the toenail, whether it hits the top or I push it down on the ground too much, but that's the toenail that I always seem to lose. And so I had seen some hikers use these, we call them little toe condoms, and I saw them in the drugstore last night, so I bought one and I was able to cut it in half, give one on each foot, and they seem to be working. They seem to be protecting that toenail. They're not cheap. They were $7.99, but that's cheap for my toes. Anyway, quick little rest, change the socks, and keep going. I think the next one I'm still going to try and stop in 8. We'll see. The challenge with stopping, as good as it feels to change your socks, take off a layer of clothing, I end up walking like this for the first little bit. Very gingerly, because the feet feel very tender. But in about 1 kilometer, something happens, and everything just settles in to a nice little groove. I'm going to go 8 kilometers to the next stop. Check this out. This is like classic PEI Confederation trail hiking on a classic 20-degree, sunny, breezy PEI day. This is absolutely perfect. An hour past my rest stop, and for all those hikers out there, frequent sock changes, imperative. Don't question it. Feeling much better now. Still a bit slow, but slightly quicker pace than I was. And all I do is I just take my old socks off. I attach them to the outside of my backpack so they can air and dry. And in 8 kilometers, I'll do the switch again. I feel the difference. It's good. I've been thinking about my dad's fatherly advice over the years. And one of his biggest pieces of advice was try and change your career completely 3 times in your lifetime, which he did, and which I have. And I completely agree with him. It keeps you fresh, keeps you new. But I'm wondering, is that transferable to other things? Like interests. Do we need to be stuck? I shouldn't say stuck, but taking part in one interest. Or should we be trying different things throughout our whole life? Even though it's a little scary. Example, downhill skiing. I was a passionate downhill skier. My family was crazy about downhill skiing. My dad and myself, and my sister, that's for sure. But there was a life event that happened physically, and I had to stop skiing for a while, and I never went back to it. And I never really missed it. But stopping that led me to start other interests. And so, yeah, I'm wondering, I think that advice is good. It's probably even good about where you live. You can maybe make sure you live in 3 different places, like completely, like different provinces, different countries in your lifetime. I have, personally as an adult, lived in 2 different cities. As a kid, lived in Nova Scotia and then Ottawa. But I can see myself living somewhere else post-retirement. Yeah, Dad, changing it up. Helps you face some fears. Gets you to start fresh. Takes you out of comfort zones. That's a good thing, I think. I've just all of a sudden come out to the town of Emerald, and there's a boxcar pub and grill. I don't know if it's open or if it's part of the community center. And then up here, there's a picnic table and a playground and apparently a public washroom. Emerald, you go, town. I think you are way ahead of the game when it comes to Confederation Trail. Got everything a through hiker and biker needs. The other villages could take a lesson. Okay. So I just saw 2 signs, one on one side of Emerald, and I just saw the other one on the other side of Emerald. And they both said 18K to Hunter River, but they're a kilometer apart. What the heck, Emerald? That's not fair to those of us who are looking for our rest stop. A kilometer makes a big difference in a hiker's journey. This is a very different part of the trail. Instead of being wide, flat, and crushed stone, it's more like a little old road. I look at the top of that crest and I think I'm going to see Matthew Cuthbert and Anne Shirley come over the top of it in their horse-drawn carriage. But really what I'm seeing is 2 cyclists coming towards me. People! Today's shout out goes to the people that I work with in the ISSD. Yeah, about 1.5 years ago, I had to make a job change. And I say had to. I was 17 years in one job, and I loved that job. But it was a 10-month out of 12-month job. And my personal situation was such that I really needed a paycheck 12 months of the year. And this job posting miraculously appeared. I knew that my far past history had the experience to do the job, but it was way in the past, in my 20s. And I felt that getting this job was a long shot. But the people of the department took a chance on me. And am I ever glad they did? Because I landed in the middle of the most amazing work family. They didn't know my story, but they let me be in my little corner cave. And when I was ready, when I started to rediscover the past me and bring her out, they were there. And oh my goodness, we laughed. We've done some fun stuff, good conversations. It's just a great place to be. So my shout out today, is to all you peeps in that department. You are a great group of people to work with. And we were very fortunate, I say were, sadly she's retired, to work with an incredible leader. And I believe that the climate of a group of people can point directly to the leader of that team. And this particular person, I think, was an incredible leader. Anyway, I won't give you guys loves and kisses because I don't know if that's professional, but really, I do love being a part of your team. Shout out to you. You know what that signpost is up there? That, my friends, is exactly halfway across the island. That's by my map markings, and it's not counting leaving the trail to go into the bed and breakfast. And what's really cool is I've hit this exact halfway mark at noon on the 5th day, which is exactly 4.5 days in a 9-day trek. How cool, crazy is that? So I'm in a town called Breadalbane, and they did it up right as well. This whole park is right on the trail. And I had a nice place to sit and have my lunch. Now I have 14 kilometers to go to Hunter River. I'm going to do it in 7, then take a break, and then 7. Should be good. I was just sitting in that park in Breadalbane having my lunch, and in the house next door, these 2 little girls came out to play in the park, and one of them stuck around to have a little chat with me while I ate my lunch. She was so sweet. She thought that what I was doing was really cool, and she said she can barely walk across the street without getting tired. And we had a little talk about setting goals and doing what you want to do and not letting people get in your head. And she said, yeah, she loves to dance, but sometimes people say that her moves are silly. So I talked to her about interpretive dance. And I said, sometimes you just move your body to the music the way you want to. She goes, yeah, that's kind of what I do. Very, very sweet girl. Anyway, have my little lunchtime chat. And yeah, here we go. 14 kilometers to Hunter River, but I'll take a little rest at 7 kilometers. It's starting to cloud over a bit. It is supposed to rain a little later on, but it's a nice cool breeze. It's only about 19 right now. Sun with lots of clouds. It's perfect. Very little of this trail has any grade to it. As you can tell by my breath, for the last kilometer, it's been this gentle but steady uphill grade with all sorts of twists and turns. Okay, it's getting hard. So I made it to the 8-kilometer stopping point, but I gotta be honest, I ended up stopping every 2 kilometers. That incline just finished. So I don't know what that was, 4 or 5 kilometers of incline. Anyway, I thought this section of the island was flat as flat can be, but I just read a signpost that said, nope, nope, nope. Nope, this is the hilly portion of the island, as well as the western side. Anyway, I'm putting these old dogs up. I've got about 7 kilometers, I think, to go to my bed and breakfast. And I was hoping it would take an hour and a half, but I think it's going to take 2 hours. It's 3 o'clock now, and I'm more than likely going to do it 2 kilometers at a time, because these feetsies are tender. So this is what's called trail magic. So these last few kilometers are really killing me. So I got a little mantra going. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. That's how I'll get to where I wanna go. By putting one foot in front of the other, I'm gonna make it, I know. And it's working. Music, it's a beautiful thing. I made it to Hunter River Civilization. I'm walking through a park, and there should be a road up ahead. And on that road should be a Subway, and I'll get a little bite to eat that I can take back to the bed and breakfast, which is then again just a little further up the road, hopefully not too far. It is, I think it's about 4:45, so considering little hop along was snailing along, I did okay. Did it. I made it. I stopped in at Subway, and I'm hobbling up to my Heritage Classic Inn. Yvette is not there, but apparently her husband is there. Looks quite cute. So this is my room at the Heritage Classic Inn. Simple but adorable. The house is beautiful. It's a shared bathroom, but the only other people here in the house have been living here for 2 months while their house is being built. They won't be back till 10 o'clock tonight. They're from New Brunswick, and they've owned this place for 20 years. Used to be the preacher's house. And I'll show you some pictures of the rest of the house. His wife is a woodworker.